not familiar with this room. All right, good afternoon. Mr. Lemunion, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Miss Pretty, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is Judge Middleton. I'm at the courthouse in Centerville, and you are both here on a landlord-tenant case. Mr. Lemunion, yours is a land contract forfeiture.
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute, not a forfeiture, not land contract. Sheriff's sale. And Miss Pretty, yours is a termination of tenancy. Your landlord, Miss Houghton, wants you to move. So each of you is a defendant in a landlord-tenant case. You have the following rights. You have the right to hire an attorney in this matter. If you cannot pay for one, the court must give you information about legal aid assistance, which we already did. I don't know if we've met before. Have you been to court here before?
I've only had the privilege of being in front of you a handful of times, Judge, not often.
I apologize then. I haven't seen Mr. Lillis in a long time. I used to see him quite a bit. Anyway, welcome back then. Mr. Lemunion is in custody in the St. Joseph County Jail. This is a sheriff's sale, forfeiture action. There is no lease. The sale was March 16th of 23, and more than 6 months have passed since that time. The service was by alternate service or substituted service on a tenant, Jared Tyler. Mr. Lemunion has been AWOL for a while. We haven't been able to find him. And he got picked up over the weekend on this and some other matters. Mr. Lemunion, are you still even in the house?
Yeah, I am. Most of all my stuff's still there. It was broken into over the weekend. And
who is Jared Tyler?
There is no Jared Tyler. I'm not Jared Tunnel.
Well, maybe I can't read the handwriting, which I shouldn't impugn anybody else's handwriting. Well, who is in there?
Jared Tunnel was in there.
Well, who is he?
His friend. He was staying there with us.
Is he still there?
As far as I know, I haven't talked to him since I've been here.
All right. Well, the law requires that I continue this matter at least 7 days. Ms. Jensen, Mr. Lemunion is in custody on some serious charges from earlier this year and some brand new ones. He has two $100,000 bonds, so it's unlikely he's going to bond out. Mr. Lemunion, if the bank gets what they ask for, when we next meet December 4th, you would have 10 days to get your stuff out of there.
Right.
Do you have the ability to do that?
We hopefully make a deal with them. We can keep the house and not give it back to them. But I mean, if they're not going to willing to deal.
Well, that ship has sailed. It was a sheriff's sale back in March. And
all they did was just bought it at the sheriff's sale, so it's the bank's still anyway. They were the purchaser. They still have the opportunity to be able to rewrite the loan because they never gave me the opportunity to rewrite the loan to begin with.
well, they could. You're not in much of a position.
No, you're
Pending.
right, I'm not.
Felony firearm charges and habitual offender status on 2 separate cases. So
right.
you're presumed to be innocent, but you've got 2 substantial bonds.
I wish we were in person. We could talk about this.
Say that again, please.
Sir, I wish we were in person and we could talk about this. But
Well, I can't talk to you ex parte, but I know you believe that everything was a big misunderstanding. I think the
As
prosecutor
far
has a
as
different
missing the
view of
court
that.
date, it was. And I know you were upset that I wasn't there, but man, everything got to be a snowball after that. It was my fault. I didn't make it, but it wasn't. I didn't know I had it. By the time I did know I had it, it was over with, and you hadn't given me fair use of period. You revoked it, and it was
Yes.
my first appearance.
Um, well, we'll sort it out. But
Now, if
anyway,
you-
I'm going to continue this to 2:10 PM next Monday, December 4th. Does that work for you, Ms. Jensen?
I do have another court hearing over here, but I should be able to make it work.
What time is what time's your hearing there?
It's at 2, but there's already court orders, so I should be done very quickly.
Which court is it in?
It's actually with the front of the court. It's a conciliation conference.
How about if we back it up to like 2:40? Does that work for you?
Yes. Yep, that would be perfect. I for sure should be done by then.
All right. Mr. Jensen, excuse me, Mr. Tuttle is also subject to this. If the bank gets what they ask for and you're forced to move, it will also include all tenants.
Right.
But right now, you're not in much of a position to even deal with anything. And it's unlikely the bank is going to renegotiate this contract.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
All right, well, we'll address it further next Monday, December 4th at 2:40. Do you have any further questions?
No, who do we contact at the bank?
Who's the contact at the bank?
Stephanie Nichols is the one that you would need to talk to.
Oh, that's the one that talked to me while I was laying in the hospital in a coma, or not quite in a coma anymore. But after I got hit by a deer a year and a half ago, and she come in and said something. I don't remember now what all she was talking about, but I remember it ended when she was going to go in with foreclosure, and I was in and out of consciousness for 6 weeks.
Well, this didn't just happen all at once. I
Oh, you're
suspect the
right.
payment hasn't been made for more than a year, and then
Yeah.
the sale
Yeah.
was last March, and you had 180 days to redeem it. I'm not even sure that you're
Yes,
actually there, but
We filed,
I don't.
I filed bankruptcy last January, and because I didn't have a bank account, everything got screwed up there, and they had to figure the bankruptcy out. And I never got contacted by the bank anymore.
Well, it seems to be a pattern. None of this is your fault. Everything's a big mistake.
This was my
And,
fault. I
it's
didn't
all
make the
just a
payment.
big misunderstanding. But
Well,
anyway,
I
this
know.
is a dire straits. If they get what they ask for, you got 10 days from next week to vacate.
A lot of it is my fault, but I got hit by a deer doing 70. And I had 2 strokes in the last year, and this is all in the last 14 months.
All right. Well, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
so
see you
my
next.
my head's been a little scrambled. I spent some time in a coma. I spent time in ACU for 6 weeks. I've been pretty messed up, man.
All right. Well, you got some quiet time for a while till I see you on the 12th, but I'll see you on this one next Monday
Okay, man.
at 2:10.
2:40.
2:40, excuse me. He'll be here when I bring him, but 2:40 is the time to work for your calendar. Thank you.
Thank you. And Your Honor, you will provide notice to him at the jail, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
wanna make sure.
he's not likely to bond out. So I will make sure that he's here by Zoom once again.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great
I
day.
think. All right. Welcome, Meg.
Good afternoon, Judge.
That was a foreclosure action on an inmate who's in jail. He's been AWOL with a couple of bench warrants. He got picked up and he's got issues I don't think he can solve, but we'll see. I've given the rights to our next defendant. Her name is Elisa Pretty. This is a termination of tenancy matter. The file number is 231686LT. It's entitled Ray Lynn Houghton. versus Alyssa Pretty. It's a property at 920 West Chicago Road, Apartment 2. It is a termination of tenancy action. Get my notes. Is that correct, Ms. Houghton? You want her to move?
Yes.
The person that joined us is attorney Meg Bauer from Legal Aid of Western Michigan Legal Services. Ms. Pretty, they want you to move. What's your position?
I'm trying to get, well, I've been trying to get a job for the last like 7-8 months, and I finally got 2 jobs. Not making very much money, and I know she wants me out, and I don't want to stay here where I'm not wanted, but I haven't been able to pay her for 6 months. Well, it'll be 6 months on the 1st of this week, and I'll owe her $3,500 about roughly. And I tried to get a loan to pay it up at least, and my son just moved back home from South Carolina a couple months ago. And I've been either trying to save up to get moved. I have no vehicle. My bicycle just got stolen from work the other day or a couple weeks ago. So everywhere I go to work, I work at Walmart and Dunham's, and they're both part-time, paid bi-weekly. So I'm not making very much money. And I'm trying to get stuff around so I can get out, because I know she doesn't want me here, but I want to pay her up and at least do that, but I haven't been able to. So
All right, well, we'll worry about tenancy first. So you say your son moved back home. Is he living there also?
no, he's staying with his father, which isn't a
All
good
right, well,
situation.
the law requires that I adjourn this matter at least 7 days, which would take us to December 4th. At 2:10. Does that work for you, Ms. Houghton?
Yes. Can you explain to me why we're being adjourned?
Well, if you're going to be a landlord, you should familiarize yourself with the landlord-tenant rules. The law requires that the matter be adjourned for at least 7 days. It has for some time under emergency order from the Supreme Court during the height of COVID. The Supreme Court rewrote the rule recently. It was amended on November 6th. And you've got new obligations as a landlord. So you need to familiarize yourself with those or get an attorney to help you with this. But whether I like it, you like it, or everybody else likes it, the law requires that the matter is adjourned at least 7 days. So that's for an opportunity for her to get services from legal aid or other counsel, or try to get rental assistance. But this is not a non-payment of rent. It's filed as a termination of tenancy. Now, if she comes in with a big pile of money and pays rent, I guess you can agree to keep her there. But she's more than 6 months behind. On December 1st, will be another month behind on the rent. And so, Miss Pretty, I guess my advice would be to try to prepare to move. Now, they've also paid the fee for supplemental money damages. So we'll be discussing how much you owe also. But we'll address this further next Monday, December 4th at 2:10. Do you have any questions?
No.
No.
All right, thank you. I'll see you both at that time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.